What is up, ladies and gentlemen? You're listening to a brand new special edition of Madman Sports. Film reviews are coming at you. The NFL season is over. Congratulations to the Super Bowl champion Eagles. So fantastic for the city of Philadelphia to finally bring in that Super Bowl trophy. The city was nuts, but you know what that means? It means it's time. It's the offseason. For 31 other teams, they're finding ways to win a championship next year. I am so excited, and for every other video, I'm just going to get right into it, but I figured I'll just do a quick little introduction. I'm going to pick some players, some of my favorite players in this draft class. I'm not an expert. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't know all the technicalities, all the specific terms. What I am is a dude who loves to sit, watch a lot of film. I've been pretty good when it comes to being able to predict which prospects will be good and which ones won't be. I have a pretty good philosophy when it comes to building a team. I understand a talent when I see it, and I'll just try and describe to you what I'm seeing, how I see it when it comes to certain players and what I'm really impressed with. And my first player I'm choosing is one of my favorite players in this class, and you'll be surprised if you've listened to me before. Anthony Miller, the wide receiver out of Memphis. And, you know, at the end of the video as well, I'll kind of give you some more things, maybe like a little bit of his injury history, background, stuff like that. But that'll be for the end, for those of you who are actually interested. Some of you just want to see some film and some highlights, and we'll get right to it just one more second. So, a quick thing, though, he's 5'11", so, you know, not the biggest receiver. And you know me, I'm not a huge receiver guy. I'm not the type of guy, I didn't like Mike Williams last year. I didn't like John Ross. I'm not the type of guy that buys into receiver hype. But this kid is something special, and you're going to see it right here. So let's get right to it with this first play. I'm going to just talk about some of the key things that really impressed me about him. And I'm going to start with my favorite trait, his ability to just control his body. His body and his concentration when it comes to making catches is just out of this world. I'm so impressed, and it's a combination of other things, and you'll see some of those other ones as well. He's got the speed, he's got the quickness, he's got everything you expect out of a small receiver, and we'll get to those. But he plays like a physical big receiver when it comes to controlling his body and making contested catches. And we'll get right to it. You see this first one here, he's lined up outside, and let's just get right to it. You see him really quick off the line of scrimmage. That's the first thing you notice right there. In fact, I'll go back again. Ball is snapped, he immediately gets off the line of scrimmage. He's running here. Nice little subtle move there, as you'll see. He just goes kind of quickly, changes his direction without even making it. And also, you notice right there the way he uses his hands, and you'll see that in a few of them. He's really good at just subtly using his hands already. He's a really technically sound player. Nothing there. They're not going to call some sort of offensive pass interference on something that small, but really nice job just using his hands slightly to change his direction and throw the cornerback off slightly. Now, he kind of has him beat here, but you can already see he's tracking the ball. And at this point, another thing you'll notice with more of these, he's very good at knowing when the ball leaves the hands where it's going to end up. And at this point, you see him slow down. He already knows it's a little underthrown. But then he's running, he slows down, he starts to adjust. He extends his body right here, off balance. Very tough catch to make. Look at that. Body fully extended, getting a little mauled there. Nothing, not going to call any sort of interference there. Let them play. But the way he extends his body here to make that catch, very impressive. So that was the first one I saw right there. Manages to go to the ground. Easy money. This is another one that I really like. So you'll see here, there's Miller right there. So he lines up in the slot there, and you can line him up pretty much everywhere, and I'll get there more as we get further in the video, talk about how he's very versatile. But anyway, so a little play action. Actually, let me go back there because I actually messed that up. You'll see here, he's right here. That's Anthony Miller, so he is lined up outside. He does line up in the slot a lot, but my apologies. First time doing this, there's going to be some growing pains. But you see here, the play action, he's already 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. So again, his ability to just break off the line immediately is going to throw cornerbacks off for years to come. Play action pass, there he is right here. He's breaking free. Ball is thrown, and he, again, has to slow down. If the ball was thrown better, was thrown right over here, easy touchdown. Instead, it's thrown down, thrown a little under again by Riley Ferguson, and I like Riley Ferguson, but you're going to hear me kind of trash him a lot in this video just to show how good Anthony Miller is. But there he is, there's the defensive back. He does a really good job of slowing down, knowing where he needs to be, and kind of getting ready to almost box this defender out. And you'll see that in a few different examples here. Ball is caught right there. He's in the air. Now, the defender actually has a pretty good handle on him where he can maybe push him away. He's in the air. He doesn't really have a lot of control. But as he lands, instead of just falling forward, look at the way he muscles his way forward and gets into the end zone. Really just a very nice play. We'll see it one more time. Again, breaks away. Ball is underthrown a little bit. He jumps up. Tough catch while he's again getting kind of physically handled there. in the air, could have just gotten pushed back 2 or 3 yards, but he has such good just strength everywhere. I don't know what that is, whether it's core strength, whether it's leg strength. His ability, though, to land and just muscle his way forward and get that extra yard. No running it on 1st and goal or anything like that. He gets you into the end zone. This kid really does have just a nose for the end zone. So we'll get to the next one here. This is another example, a good example of his route running ability and just another example of his body control. So ball is thrown right there. Nice little quick move. He's already got the defender beat and he's already looking back. Looks like he's getting ready for a back shoulder throw. And this is going to be another not perfect throw and he'll find a way to catch it anyway. Ball is snapped. He starts to slow down a little bit. Again, that hand usage right there, just subtle enough. They're not going to call that in the NFL. They're not going to call that pass interference. That would be a little ridiculous if you ask me personally. He manages to get off, get just enough control, and look here. Look at where his hands are. Over there on the left. A better thrown ball would be over on the right, where he'd be able to kind of just extend his hands out and make the catch. Instead, he has to jump up, make the catch over the cornerback, but it was a combination of just knowing exactly when he needed to make his move, perfect timing, perfect execution, and just really good hands as well. He's off balance. He had to reach behind him to make that catch, but for Anthony Miller, that is just easy. And then he goes down, makes the catch. So this next one, I'm a pretty big fan of. It's just something little and subtle, but I really wanted to throw it in there. So ball is thrown. There he is. And again, this one's a little high. This one's a little overthrown, you know, especially for a little guy right here. Already, look, he has to jump. He's a little off balance. And then as he catches it, look at that. He's very vulnerable right now. Very vulnerable. Look at this defensive back. I believe that's a 19. Very tough to tell with how blurry the screen is. I don't know what to do about that. Hopefully I'll get better at this as time goes on. But look at that. Again, you think at this point he's getting ready to get rocked. But not Anthony Miller. He catches the ball, lands on one foot, manages to stay balanced, and then gets on his other foot right there, fights forward for those extra 2 or 3 yards. And this is a game of inches. Every yard or 2 matters. You saw it near the goal line especially. He's the type of guy where, again, you've seen 2 different examples now where he's just looked vulnerable in the air and it looks like he's just about to get rocked. And somehow he manages to maintain his balance while getting mauled and leaps forward for a few extra yards. It's only a few yards. That's not something you're really going to see on the highlight films. But that's just key every single time. He can do that. You see examples of this every single game, and you'll see I leave links in the description of where I found all these highlights, all these films, so you can go watch more for yourself because I'm not going to include every single one. So here we go. This is another really impressive one right here. Just a different example of how he has just really nice concentration and control to make these really tough contested catches. So ball is thrown, and, you know, here already he has to turn around, so he knew it was underthrown again. A better thrown ball. Looks like he had the defender beat. We weren't really able to see from this angle. I'm going to see if we can get a quick look. But yeah, so at this point it's a little tough to tell from this angle, and I guess there wasn't another one. But again, hand usage there. I know it's blurry, but you can see the way he's extending, fighting with the DB there. Just looks like 2 football players going at it. Manages to time his jump just right. Catches it while getting mauled. Absolutely mauled there. They could have easily called interference there. Defender in his face. It doesn't matter. He catches it. He has the concentration. He doesn't drop it afterwards. Just a really tough player. And you won't see it here, but in this game against UConn, this was his 4th touchdown of the game. This kid is just a playmaker on so many levels. This is probably my favorite play, though, when it comes to the body control. There's just so much in this one play that shows you what you need to know about Anthony Miller. So you start right here. Nice little stutter step. And then right here you see already he has this defender beat. Look how he's about to cut there. Defender is not ready. We'll go another. Yep, right there. So he has him absolutely burned. And you'll see another defender come right in over here on the corner on the right. But, you know, a better quarterback would probably be able to lace it in there. He has, number 25 is just absolutely cooked from the beginning, and I believe he was a 5-star recruit, even though Anthony Miller might have been a walk-on. I'm not 100% sure about that. We'll talk about it at the end of the show, which will be recorded at a different time, so maybe you'll hear something different. Has him beat. You see this other defender come in here. A perfectly thrown ball, though. Already, he probably could have caught it, ran up. Instead, ball is thrown a little behind him, and you see already he has to turn around. And this angle right here, you just pause here and you don't know anything about either of the players. This looks like horrible news for Anthony Miller right here. this just looks like some horrible news. Looks like he's about to get rocked by 25, who manages now to recover after getting burnt just a few seconds ago. And especially here, this looks even worse, right? Looks like he's about to get rocked, and we're going to see him lying on the ground. Not good. What does he do instead, though? Look at that. The way he already starts to progress up the field, he has so much control, and we're just going to go extra slow here. He just manages to get right by and break that tackle. Now, 25 has a good handle on him, but already he didn't get rocked. He turned his body up. He's so quick, so in control, breaks the tackle, and now he's open. He keeps going, and you don't get to see the end of the play, but he gained, it looked like another 5 yards. But again, look at this. Ball is thrown behind him. He's about to get rocked, and instead he breaks the tackle and gains more yards. That's everything you need to know about him. Really nicely run route again, because you don't even get to see it that much. But just look how badly he had 25 burnt. There's just so much to love in this one highlight. This was the highlight that made me think, this is the guy to take. If you're going to take a wide receiver with your first 16 picks, don't waste your time on James Washington or any of these other receivers that had better numbers. Take Anthony Miller. This kid is an absolute stud. And here, I'll just let you watch everything one more time and digest what you just saw, because there are so many things to like about that play. Not a great throw, beautiful execution. So here's another one. I really like this. Just a nice little deep run here. Watch Anthony. He goes straight. Just a little subtle move right there to start to go to the middle. And it looks like he has, 14's got pretty decent coverage. But with Anthony Miller's speed, what you've seen, a perfectly thrown ball. And it looks like Anthony can kind of beat him if he runs here. And again, that's a tough throw to make, though. This is about a 50-plus yard throw, so I'm not really, gonna blame Ferguson here for not throwing it perfectly. Actually thrown pretty well, but already you see here Miller looking up. He's starting to adjust to the ball. And again, he does a good job of just kind of getting in front of this defensive back and not letting him, he did a good job kind of motioning himself to not let the defender get in front of him. The defender really wasn't doing a great job tracking the ball, and Miller was. And then he catches it, kind of boxes him out again, and falls right into the back of the end zone for yet another touchdown. Just a fantastic play. And now finally, and I'm actually going to go ahead here a little bit to show a different angle. You have this play here by Miller. I didn't really show the beginning, but just start from here. And you can already see how he's turning his body at a really awkward angle. So he was probably running in this direction. You can see where the mouse is going, running towards the center of the field. He manages to turn his back and turn his body around completely because the ball is being thrown towards the side of the end zone. Now, I don't know what play was called here on this play. I don't know if this was a miscommunication and a fantastic adjustment by Miller, or if this was a well-designed play where it was supposed to make him subtly look like he was going to the center because they trusted his ability to make this fake move. Either way, this is very impressive by Miller. Great deception. Ball is thrown towards the outside. He catches it, and then watch right here. This is an NFL type of catch. He gets that whole knee down inbounds, not just the foot, and he manages to fall to the ground. That shows that he's getting ready for the future. He knows that he needs to make catches like that on Sundays. So there is those examples of Anthony Miller's body control. Just absolutely phenomenal stuff. So another thing that really impresses me about Anthony Miller is that he's just such a versatile player. Think somebody like Tyreke Hill, or maybe even just the way the Patriots utilize all of their running backs, maybe even somebody like Alvin Kamara, who again is a running back. Notice I'm mentioning kind of different players, different positions. That's kind of the type of player he is. You're not really going to see him line up in the shotgun very often at Memphis, but he shows all the skill sets of somebody where you can really line him up anywhere on the field, and he is a threat. He's somebody you have to game plan around. And I'm going to show you a few different plays that really showcase that. So this is my first one here. I really like this one. So we start the play. Here's right down here. That's where Anthony Miller is. He's lined up outside. But notice they kind of put him in motion. They pop him in the slot. Move this other receiver out there. Now he's in the slot. You move him around. Put him in motion. He starts running towards the quarterback. Ball is snapped, handed right to him, and then just sneaks up there for a solid little, what looked like about a 10-yard gain. I know that's not much and it's not crazy, but again, the fact that he's just that type of player, he's got all the quickness, the, ability to break tackles. He knows what to do when the ball is in his hands, and it just adds that little extra dynamic to the type of player he is, to the, just the weapon that he can be on the field. Again, he really does remind me of Tyreke Hill a lot, the way the Chiefs use him. I could really see him fitting in a system where he would be utilized like that. So here's another play, a crucial 4th down. 4th down and 2, 5 minutes left, very high scoring game. You see Miller lined up here again outside. He's put in motion again. This time ball is snapped. Obviously it won't be handed off to him, but again, that motion right away, especially where you see this loaded box here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 men lined up in the box. Looks like they might have been thinking run. Ball is snapped. Miller runs out, and again, combination of that body control that we talked about earlier, he gets open. Crucial, easy 1st down conversion for Memphis, and that's huge in a game that I believe they did end up winning. So here's another one there, and again, this is a play that doesn't even work, but I wanted to throw it in just to continue to showcase his ability to move around. In this game in particular against UCF, which I believe that's the game that we're looking at right now, yes it is, they even tried a few different plays, and I didn't show them because they were a little ugly looking, but they tried some plays where they had him kind of thrown back, had him try and throw the ball. He's not very good at that right now, but if he learns to even be competent, kind of like we saw guys like LT do back in the day, kind of like a play we saw in the Super Bowl where Trey Burton threw it to Nick Foles, that would add just another dynamic, and I'm sure a very good coach would utilize that. But here he is right here. He's running, ball is snapped, faked, and then they try and get the ball to him here. Really bad throw. Ball doesn't really get to him. But notice, here they are, 2 defenders right there. Whether you're actually going to throw it to him, whether you're going to use him to fake, the defense is going to key around Anthony Miller. That's what makes him so dangerous. Moving on here now, just like we're, that was a lot of motion, but also he's the type of player, reminds me of some of the superstar receivers in the league, whether they're Antonio Brown, whether it's Odell Beckham, or whether it's maybe a slightly lesser receiver like a Jarvis Landry. You can line him up on the outside. He's down low. You can't see him now. Quarterback Riley Ferguson runs over towards him, gets the ball in his hand right at the line of scrimmage, and then just watch Miller make magic happen. Look at that. Let's go back there and look at that. He just made 3 defenders miss. So nice block there by that receiver. 1 defender, 2, 3. Look at them. They look like fools trying to tackle Miller as he gains some yardage. Here's another example right here against Iowa State. Ball is thrown. There's Miller right there, running up, breaking tackles, extends again for the end zone. You'll see a slightly better angle right here. Look at him. He's tough. He has that nice little stiff arm. He's able to keep his balance to get the ball in the end zone. Also, obviously, some strong hands. They called that a touchdown. He's able to palm the ball just like that as well. He's just the type of player where you can throw the ball to him right away, or you can send him deep. He can do absolutely everything that you ask for a wide receiver to do on the field. Here's one more right here, and again, it's kind of the same thing. Ball is thrown in his direction, and I just wanted to show it. He catches it. Look at that. Again, he kind of lost it at first. He does have to work a little bit. I did see a few drops, not enough to where I thought it was really questionable. I saw maybe 1 per game, which isn't great, for the 4 or 5 games I watched, which isn't great. I didn't see any in this UCLA game. I saw 1 or 2. A few of them were kind of bad throws. A few of them were his fault. So obviously he does need to work on that a little bit, but it wasn't enough. He made so many more incredible catches to where I wasn't too concerned about it. But stumbles here, nearly loses it. Looks like he's trapped. Nice spin move there, gets past 1, 2, 3 defenders, manages to pick up a 1st down, and there it is. So there's just a few examples of how you can just get the ball in his hands however you want. So as we wrap this up, I'll just show you a few more highlights. I feel like a lot of these people who do these videos only show you like 2 or 3 plays, and that just doesn't give you enough of an idea to see a player. So these are some of the other plays that I just didn't get a chance to really touch on that I really wanted to. Just didn't have enough time, didn't want to make this an hour-long video or anything like that. And you can just see more of those skill cases displayed. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. By the way, just a quick note about Anthony Miller. His last 2 seasons, 96 and 95 receptions apiece, over 1,400 yards for both, and a combined 32 touchdowns. He's been playing since his sophomore year, starting since his junior year, and in every single game he's played in, which was his beginning of sophomore year, he hasn't missed a game, and he's had a reception in every single game. I want to thank my main man, E. White, you know him if you listen to this show or if you've listened to it before, for providing me with this amazing beat that you're listening to in the background. Really adds a nice ambiance to it, doesn't it? Guys, if you like this, make sure you follow us on Twitter at TheMadmanSports, and you can follow me personally on Twitter at BSUL21. Hopefully I'll get some more of these going soon. I'm really excited about this. Love doing this. This is really my favorite part. I like talking other sports as well, but this is my favorite, and hopefully we see Anthony Miller end up on a team that will really utilize his strengths. Early on, I mean, as much as you guys don't want to hear it, I would really like to see him end up somewhere where he's going to be used well. Maybe New England or maybe New Orleans, teams like that. Obviously, I'd love to see him in Los Angeles. I think he'd make sense there with the Chargers or the Rams for that matter. I'm sure Sean McVay could do something well with him. Chiefs or Packers, I feel like they've already got players like this. They don't really need him as much. But, or who knows, the Super Bowl champion Eagles could certainly use him. Pretty much any team in the league could use a player like Anthony Miller, unless it's one of those few teams like I mentioned. Chiefs, Packers, between guys like Ty Montgomery and, Tyreke Hill, maybe they're already good. But thank you so much, guys. Hopefully Anthony Miller turns out well. I've got a first-round grade on him. I'd take him in the top 16, and that's very rare for me to say about a wide receiver. Hope you enjoyed this film review. Hope you enjoyed the highlights, and feel free to offer any advice or input. I'm still pretty new to this, and if you have more to offer, instead of saying, hey, I suck, just offer some input. And if you ever want to work together, let me know. Thought this was really fun. Tune in next time. I've got a few other players that I'm really excited to go over.